All glory to God. And then after that, I have to say, my teammates, I could share this with each and every last one of them. Juan Guzman, to me, is just as deserving of this trophy. Devon White played outstanding. Paul Molitor, Cito did a good job of managing us. And, I know there are a lot of people that were second-guessing how we set the rotation up, but, Cito had a plan. Things worked out. I just feel real fortunate to be in this situation.
You gave thanks to a lot of people, and nothing strange to you to do that, because yesterday was Thanksgiving Day in Canada, and you helped out a lot of needy people there by staying back, and that's always been the Dave Stewart spirit. And I think the pitching spirit we saw tonight was in inning number 8. You extended yourself a little bit and got a big out, but these were no easy games. You had to pitch out of a lot of jams in both games, too, and tonight.
Really tough ball club. I knew they were a scrappy club. I'd like to say congratulations to Alex Fernandez. He pitched 2 outstanding ball games. He's got nothing to be ashamed of. Be very proud of what he was able to accomplish in this. But they're a tough ball club. They keep scrapping. They keep coming at you, keep coming at you. And I just kept trying to figure out ways to get them out.
One key moment in tonight's game that might stand out as a key out that you said, wow, I had to have that one. Probably 15 or 20 of them.
There were a lot of them. I can't think of one particular. To me, all the outs were important because the game was close. It's a close ball game. I was just trying to get as many as I could. If I have to go back to one, it was getting Ellis Burks out when they had a chance to go ahead with a man on third, 2 outs in third or fourth inning.
Dave, again, congratulations. Your second most valuable player award. Good luck in the World Series. We'll see you there. Let's go upstairs to Greg Gumbel.
All right, Kitty. Dave Stewart, not bad for a guy who started the season on the 15-day DL. He's now 8-0 in LCS history. We'll be back to wrap things up from Chicago in just a moment.
Back with you at the CTV Sports Control Studio in Toronto. We will stay on the air after CBS goes off, and we will continue with the post-game wrap-up. The Blue Jays win 6-3, and a year to the day that Dave Stewart beat them, the Oakland A's beat the Blue Jays, and then 2 days later, the Blue Jays wrapped it up in Game 6 in the ALCS back at the Sky Dome. Now, the word on the street, if we could go to the street, the Blue Jay fans celebrating into Toronto tonight. Maybe not as wild as it was last year when they clinched at home, but you can see what it's like in downtown Toronto and perhaps right across Canada tonight, as the Blue Jays have done it again. Their second straight trip to the World Series, as Greg Gumbel mentioned on CBS, perhaps the first team since the 77-78 New York Yankees to win back-to-back World Series. Game 1 of the World Series will begin on Saturday. Streets of Toronto tonight. The National League Championship Series continues tomorrow night now, 8 o'clock Eastern. The Phillies and the Braves. The Phillies can wrap it up. Who will the Jays play? Stay tuned for that tomorrow night. And, of course, the World Series Game 1, the Phillies or the Braves against perhaps a well-rested Blue Jays team. They will head home, and the World Series Game 1 begins from the Sky Dome, 8 o'clock Eastern on Saturday. Much more to come from Chicago tonight. We'll talk to more of the Blue Jays in the champagne-soaked dressing room when we come back. The Blue Jays win the American League Championship again. Stay with us as our post-game celebration continues. Ho, ho, ho! Sunil Joshi now in the Blue Jays locker room. Sunil?
Well, thank you, Rod. Indeed, I am in the Blue Jays clubhouse. With me is Paul Molitor, 6 for 9 in the first 2 games, and then in this particular game, what a night. I'm looking at the card here, hit by pitch, reached on your intentional walk, and then that big 2-run triple in the 9th inning. First of all, your thoughts. What's going through your mind?
Well, I'll tell you, I'm just trying to let this all sink in, I mean, we have a team that definitely prided itself on having the opportunity to go back and defend its championship that it so well deserved last year. The guys put in a lot of work and a lot of effort, and of course having Dave Stewart going tonight in the 6th game, we tried to seize the moment, and sure enough, he came through again in typical Dave Stewart postseason fashion, and Wardle came in and got 5 big outs for us in the game, and no question, to be a part of it and have this type of feeling, knowing I'm going back to my 2nd World Series after a long drought, something that feels very satisfying, something I'm very thankful about.
Some of us were joking in the press box, there's an easy way and then there's the Blue Jay way. It seems that's the way it goes.
Well, this club does have a tendency to, I don't know if it's really relaxed when we get leads, but we have a tendency to let clubs get back in it, whether it be the regular season or, of course, in this series here when the White Sox even at 2 games apiece. But Thankfully, we responded. We won that big 5th game before we came here to Chicago, and knew we had a chance with Dave out there tonight. Took advantage of that, and don't have to think about Wilson Alvarez anymore.
And just to pick up on that point, 16 times the Yankees tied you, they couldn't pass you. Tonight, the White Sox tied you, they couldn't pass you.
Well, I think a critical moment in the regular season was when we lost those 6 games in September, and the Yankees just couldn't get over the hump and move past us. Psychologically, that gave us a big boost. And of course, here in the series, when they got back and even, we were a little disappointed. We didn't have a chance to win it in Toronto once again, just like the regular season. But shoot, maybe maybe the 3rd time we'll be at home.
Was there a turning point in this game as far as you're concerned?
Well, I think when they failed to turn that double play, once again, it kind of reminded me of Fernandez's other game when a couple defensive mistakes cost him a couple runs. We took advantage of their errors, and then, of course, in the 9th inning, we also took advantage of an error. So a couple unearned runs turned out to be a big factor in both the games Fernandez pitched.
Final question, Paul. We talked about this in Toronto at the workout. You were saying that if it's not the top 3 guys or the middle 3 guys, someone always comes up and does this. Pat Borders did it today, just at the table.
Again, very in concurrence with the regular season. We spread it out in the postseason. There was a different guy every day, and I don't know who you could say was the one guy, but no question, Pat coming through with the big 3 RBIs tonight and Dave having 2 big games. We spread it out all season long, and that's what we did in this series.
Do you have a preference who you play?
I really don't care. It's been a heck of a series in the National League. I've never been to Atlanta or Philadelphia, so we'll see what happens.
Well, congratulations. Enjoy it.
Okay,
let's go back to Rod Black.
All right, Sunil, back to you in just a few moments. Let's go to the other side of the field, to the Chicago White Sox clubhouse. Manager Gene Lamont had to put up with a lot in this series from some of his hitters.